I will get started. I am recording this meeting, so everybody's aware of that. Thanks for joining us and welcome to our second Odyssey Europe community call. Very excited to see you guys all here. It's a bit of a difficult timing with a lot of the colleagues being in the US at the Global Symposium, but we thought we would continue this call anyway because a lot of us are also not there, and it seems kind of weird to have to already cancel our second meeting. So I'm glad to see a lot of people here still today, and we have some fun stuff going on. So that should be good. Yeah. So what we're gonna do, the usual topics for today. Everything will be recorded and available on the page. And if there's anything that you would like to have in this meeting, reach out to me. So let's quickly start with all the European publications that have come out in the last month. If any of you as a co-author are on any of these papers and you would like to say something about it, then please interrupt me and contribute here. So the first paper that we're showing is a paper coming out of the Darwin EU project about trends in prescription in opioid use in Europe, led by Yongqing Qi. Then the second one that came out is the clusters of post-acute COVID-19 symptoms, a latent class analysis across 9 databases and 7 countries, from Kim Lopez-Guel. So very nice. The third one is by George Kafatos and group, the validation of the Transformed Clinical Practice Research Data Link, CPRD, GOLD and ARM data into the OMOP Common Data Model. The next one is development and implementation of an open, modular, and participatory tool chain for distributed IT development in healthcare research and the lessons learned in that space, by Daniel Neumann. Then we have a density of routinely collected neurology data depends on patient visit type and investigation using the observational or the OMOP Common Data Model, by Fran Biggin et al. And then a paper led by Teresa Burkhardt, best practices to design, plan, and execute large-scale federated analyses, key learnings, and suggested from a study comprising 52 databases. So another showcase of lots of data and lots of data partners. That's very, very nice. Then a paper from a joint Austrian-Hungarian initiative on the semi-automatic mappings of a national drug terminology to standardized OMOP drug concepts using publicly available supplementary information. Now, I have contacted the authors whether they would like to say something more about this paper. It can't happen today, but we will leave this for you probably for the session in December, where we will be talking more about vocabularies, and it might also be nice to discuss this in a little bit more detail. So that will be coming up. And I think the last one is a paper by Radovan Tomasic, Definitions to Data Flow, Operationalizing MyABIS in HL7 Fire. So that's what's been coming out. And again, for all of you there, if you have a paper that has been published and you would like to draw some attention to it here, please reach out to me and we will make sure that it gets some attention. So thanks very much for these authors, and congratulations on getting your papers out. Then we were talking about it already before. The Odyssey Global Symposium is going on as we speak. I must say I am a little jealous that I am not there. I've gotten a lot of pictures and WhatsApp messages from people saying it's been so much fun. But I had a lot of fun here with my daughter, whose birthday it was yesterday. So, you know, you got to make choices. You got to have priorities in life. But I've heard it's been really good. And what I would like to do right now is to congratulate the European winners of Titan Awards. I'd like to spotlight them because, well, that's what we're all about in Europe. Of course, congratulations to all the Titan winners. I think it's a very nice achievement, but we would like to highlight the award that has gone to Aniek Marcus and Maarten van Kessel for open source development, which was also a tie with Jared Houtaling. Maarten is not at the symposium, but you can see on the picture he has been represented. which I think is really cool. His head is a little bit big on the picture, and I feel that's not Maarten. He's not a very big-headed guy, but it's good to see that he was thought of and he's actually in the picture. So congrats to those for winning that. And then next, a big congratulations to our southern neighbors, the team from Odyssey Belgium, for winning the Titan Award for Community Collaboration. They did a really, really good job putting on the Odyssey Europe Symposium. So congrats to them for that. And I don't want to set any prerequisites, but you know, Odyssey Europe will be traveling around Europe to other countries. So if there's anybody else who would like to, you know, be in the running to win a Titan Award for Community Collaboration, you might want to volunteer your country to host the Odyssey Europe Symposium. We will be discussing that with the national node leads in our next meeting. So to all the node leads out there, think about what the consequences of doing something like this might just be for you. And then last but not least, the Titan Award for Clinical Application this year went to the Darwin EU team for their work. So congratulations to them and any of you who are on the call right now. Excellent stuff there. So nice to see those winners.
Actually, I'll add one other, Renska, because our Titan Award for Data Standards was Polina Talipova. So Europe was extremely well represented at this year's Global Symposium.
Very nice. I had two informants to tell me who won the European Titan Awards, and neither of them mentioned Polina, so that's why she's not in my slide deck. Apologies for that. I will thank the men involved. But thanks for pitching in there, Patrick. Okay, on the last community call, I asked you guys to submit your project that is working with the OMOP CDM if it's taking place in Europe, so that we could make a nice overview of all the projects where OMOP and Odyssey tooling is involved. So I'm going to present that slide to you, and I can reveal now already it won't take very long to look at it, because according to this survey, we have currently 6 projects in Europe that are using the OMOP CDM or Odyssey tools. And that just doesn't feel right. It does, doesn't it? I think we have many more projects that are using the OMOP CDM, and we would really like to have a comprehensive overview of everything that's going on. So this is again a call out to all of you to please scan this QR code and just fill in the project that you are working on, and give me a URL or something so I can download the logos, and we can make a nice overview of everything that's going on. It can be very helpful, not just for us, but also for you if you want to showcase where OMOP is being used because you need to convince somebody for a grant or whatever. So help yourself by filling in this form. Okay, next up is Node News, and we put our nodes central this community call. So we will have some presentations from the new nodes out there. Looking forward to that. I am pleased because we have had Austria and Switzerland join us, which means that the European archipelago that we had before is turning into more of a continent by joining all the countries together. So I'm still hoping that France will join us. And I was speaking just prior to this call to Marco from Croatia, who said he's working on it. So we're also filling up a little bit there in the Balkan territory, so that we can connect Greece to Europe as well. That would be very nice. So if any of you are out there and you don't have a national node yet, then reach out to me about how you can set one up. Yeah, I already mentioned this last time, but I'm going to do this again because we are moving forward with this. It's the cost action proposal that a couple of the nodes are working on. We have to submit the final draft or the final version on October 21st. We are now working towards the final draft. If you have not participated and you decide that you would still like to participate, that is still possible. In particular, if you are from an IT country, which are listed on the slides, then we would be very grateful if you would reach out to us. Much of the proposal has already been written, so it's a great way to just hop on, lift along, and do some fun work with us if we get the grant for the next 4 years. Reach out to Ines and Michelle from Germany, who are the leads on this call, or to myself if there's anything that you want to know or if you would like to join. Quick round. Very short round this time from what's going on in the countries. Greece, Pantelis has told me that they are working on expanding the number of data holders. So they are trying to involve more university hospitals and also trying to map some more national data sources by including their central government in their initiatives. So that is very good. And I think that's it for now. Let me check if Catherine is on the call because she was going to, she is.
Hi, everybody.
Present. Hey, I am going to stop sharing, Catherine, and then you can share your screen and tell us something about Odyssey Ireland.
Great. Let's see. Try and present in Teams here. Taking its time.
Well, something's happening. There we go.
Great. Okay. So look, thanks everybody. I'm really excited to be here to talk a little bit about the new Irish node, although I suppose not quite so new anymore because we've been around since the beginning of the year. So I would have spoken with a lot of you at the European Symposium, but just to give a little bit of the background on our node and some, sort of features of it and our goals and our plans for the future and a few accomplishments from this year. So the node was established at the University of Limerick earlier this year. So I think it had been in the works for a while, and then between Aideen, Mark, and me, we kind of got things formally off the ground earlier this year. And so the main sponsor of the node is the eHealth Hub for Cancer. And kind of an interesting feature of our node is that by design, it's an all-island node. And so you'll all be aware that it encompasses both the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland, which are qualitatively quite different in terms of the health data landscape. But we have enough commonalities and enough linkages in our research ecosystem that we can take advantage of our Irish and our British and our connections to the wider UK. So we have a series of kind of monthly data standards webinars up and running. And so I'll talk just a little bit more about that in a moment, but really we want our broad objectives here are to foster collaboration, align with our national initiatives, because there's quite a lot of movement in terms of establishing a standard for a national electronic medical record system. We don't have one as yet, it's quite fragmented. And then to enhance communication across people doing observational health research. So as I said, we kind of started with a broad array of goals, and then we distilled the most important one being education and really spreading the word about the OMOC Common Data Model, which is not especially well known in Ireland, even in the university settings, and providing resources and training for universities, medical centres. And then because the pharmaceutical industry has such a large footprint in Ireland, it stood to reason for us that we try and get those players involved in the research ecosystem so they're not quite so siloed. As I said, there's a national electronic medical record system which is being developed at the moment, and we have a unique opportunity here in that it can be by design aligned, with the new EHDS and enable very high quality evidence generation from secondary health data. And all of that legislation, I think it's in March of this year, was put in place by the Ministry for Health in Ireland to allow it to align very closely. So that's a very exciting prospect. As I said, we figured we'd be missing a trick by not involving industry because it is such a large, something like, oh gosh, I think there are dozens, I think there are about 90 different pharmaceutical, biotech and CRO organizations that operate in Ireland with some footprint in RWE. But then also we'd really like to be able to learn from the established European nodes, and we take a lot of inspiration from the good work that's being done. We really seek out opportunities to partner with each of you. as we try and strengthen our node and increase the sort of generation of evidence that we're able to do. So just to say that really anybody can join our seminar series if you wish. We've had a couple of great ones so far when Jose and Gilles were able to join us, and then all of you will know Asia. She's coming to speak to us next month, and we'll talk a little bit more next month as well about some of the activities that have been going on in the wider industry work group, and trying to get some of the Irish pharma partners on board with the industry work group as well. And then we'll have another presentation that I'm especially looking forward to in December from Tom Laffin about the European health data space. So we've had a couple of fantastic achievements this year. This is not an exhaustive list. These are just the ones from a quick search and my own memory from the University of Limerick. There were quite a number of posters and presentations at the UK node meeting. So there's particular expertise, of course, in blood cancers, and so and in cancer in general. And so here are just a couple of abstracts, posters, and papers that have been presented over the last few months. And then finally, our sort of headline event is that this annual symposium that's hosted by the eHealth Hub for Cancer will be hosted again this coming January. So previously it was in Limerick. Now the eHealth Hub is kind of co-hosted in Queen's University Belfast, which is in Northern Ireland. And we'll have a symposium, a node meeting, and an associated study-a-thon, so people can get a little bit of hands-on experience with everything Odyssey. And that's everything for me.
Thanks very much, Catherine. Just out of curiosity, I missed the first two meetings that you guys hosted. Have they been recorded? Is there any place that I can rewatch those?
Great question. I'll need to check with Katie in UL if they've been recorded. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay. And you guys have a LinkedIn page, right? I think.
We do. We have a LinkedIn page, and there's also a website where newcomers to Odyssey can access some of the resources, Book of Odyssey, etc.
Okay, very nice. So, yeah, follow the LinkedIn page, and I'm sure from there we can see which activities you guys have coming up, because I'm sure you get a lot of tractions for some of these sessions that you guys are organizing. They sound very interesting. So I will be doing my best to join the next one for sure. Thanks very much. Any questions from the audience for Catherine? There was one in the chat. I saw one come up. Ali, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I had a question. I was wondering, because if I recall correct, you're doing Ireland and North Ireland combined. And you talked about EHDS. Is Northern Ireland also participating in the EHDS?
Great question. The short answer is I actually don't know all of the details. So I know that patients in Northern Ireland do have, this is a relatively recent development, that they are now able to access their sort of trust level health records. I don't believe that's through the EHDS, so I need to get back to you on that.
Okay, yeah, just wondering. Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Catherine. Yeah, I'm going to quickly share my screen again, because up next we have Karen Treep from Odyssey Switzerland, who will be kicking off officially later this month. And Karen, I think, is here to give a little overview of what they have planned for us in beautiful Switzerland.
Yeah, thank you, Renske, and all of you to give me the opportunity. I try to share my the content. Do you see the presentation? Is it coming up?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We don't see it full screen though. We see.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll try. What about now? Is it better?
No, it's still the same.
Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Is it okay now? Still the same.
Yeah, it's still the same.
If you press the F5 button, will that help?
Are you using 2 screens or not?
Using 3, that's a problem.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. We can read the other ones. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, okay. Okay, then I start with that one. Okay. So you see it now, the presentation. Sorry. That's not
good enough.
Okay. I think we are note number 17. Is that not? So I'm not sure. I've lost counting. So we've just started with everything. So we are not having meetings yet. We don't have a LinkedIn page. Just it's a bit more modest than what you have just seen, what Ireland presented. You may know Switzerland, but what does it mean in the context of ODC? We at our institution are working at the Bern University Hospital with relation to the Insel Data Science Center that is also located there. And we had a few projects always touching the topic of interoperability, and then starting with OMOP at one point, rather project driven. We have a few partners who joined us in the journey. They were also in projects which we took part in, and they got very interested during the last months as we tried to promote it. And in Switzerland itself, healthcare is of high standard, but due to the decentralized structures, interoperability is rather fragmented. So this is the setting where we come from. And when you see this map of Switzerland with the hospitals by size, it's easy to see that we only have 5 bigger centers where the university hospitals are located, and they go hand in hand with the universities and the technical institutions we have in Switzerland. So we don't have a huge number of institutions which could align on topics concerning interoperability, but due to the political structures, which means that every canton has a say in every decision, interoperability is still fragmented. Our hospital is a very old institution. It's one of the biggest in Switzerland, although it might be small compared in the international setting. But in Switzerland, it plays an important role, being modernized during the last years due to a new digitization strategy and modernized concerning infrastructure. That means also the architecture and and the software behind it. So we already worked in a few national projects that are supported by the Swiss government. And the adoption of FAIR principles in Switzerland was done during the last years, but still the practical approach of how we set up interoperability between all the institutions and how we define national standards is still open. Right now, we are in different multi-institutional projects which are driven by the clinics, by clinical cases, by, for example, sepsis prediction. And in these projects, we tried with our partners to set up national standards which are reusable and might also be used in the global context. A few examples from what we did in these projects. For example, we used ODC tools in order to set up concepts for the SOFA score, which is used for sepsis detection. We also tried complex mappings for surgical procedures as the procedure catalogs compared on international level are very different and very difficult to map. Also, we set up a sepsis ontology together with Geneva, where we try to map different standard terminologies and align to different models, for example, the OMOP CDM, but also the national SPHN developed data models. Also, we use for ETL, for example, the alignment of historic data to data from new sources. We had to work up in order to use data from different years for bigger research projects, and there we used Odyssey tools for the documentation and the planning. For setting up knowledge graphs, we introduced the OMOP model as well. All this still in our projects, not yet published, but we are developing this further. What we already achieved is to align with the University Hospital of Lausanne different data models, which we mapped using the OMOP identifiers for all the data, and comparing the models and broke down the models to the patient data we had available in both hospitals, and then compared the outcomes. Right now, we are trying to extend the OMOP adoption to other domains as well at our institution, but also with our partners in the different multi-institutional projects. And by tomorrow, we'll have a small conference where we join in order to set up the first study-a-thon for one of the bigger interinstitutional sepsis projects, and use this conference as well as a kick-off as a national node. All this goes hand in hand with what is going on national level. There are several federal programs promoting digital health, and we try to align with these programs as well. So this is the link to the conference. It's rather a small conference. As I said, most participants are the ones from the collaborating partners who are really interested in now setting up a national node and really getting a step further in national requirements and standards for interoperability in healthcare. The future we see in establishing the node at Bern, getting more partners involved, expanding the OMOP data model on national level, and by this being able to join also European projects and position Switzerland as a partner in the Odyssey community. So thank you for letting us be part of it. I presented all this on behalf of my colleague Olga. She's not here because she's on vacation, but it's well, her effort and her I don't know how to say. It's really her effort that we can now join you and have already done a lot of work in this direction. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks very much, Karen, and thanks to you very much for joining us, not the other way around. We're very happy to have Switzerland on board, and it would be nice to have a partner right in the middle of Europe who's going strong, Odyssey style. Having lived in Switzerland for 8 years myself and being in love with the country, I know there's a lot of languages, but I never really thought that through as to how that would be a challenge in terms of interoperability, because I know it's hard enough in the Netherlands where we pretty much only have one dominant language and everybody does their own thing. You with at least 4 official languages, I think, have even bigger challenges in standardizing your data, I think. So it's very good that you guys are trying to get that done. Thanks very much for that. And also for the cutest little rabbit that you had in your presentation. I don't think I've ever seen such a cute image of a rabbit for one of the tools. So that's very nice. Ali, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I have a question, and as you already said, it's a multilingual country. But I was also wondering if you know how many different kind of sources like hospital information systems are out there. Are there, because of its multilingual, a lot of ones, and have you challenges in ETLing it towards OMOP CDM?
Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but we do have many different information systems and also different systems for different billing purposes. So it is a very, very complex setting. And what is happening now that the big vendor Epic from the US is coming to Switzerland and trying to sell their products here, and somehow this changes the landscape. At Insel, we already have Epic, and also at Lucerne, which is another canton. And this is the first challenge. We now have to collaborate and want to collaborate with Lucerne, but it's another canton. The regulations are different. So data-wise, this is the first case in Switzerland where two hospitals try to collaborate data-wise, but we have different regulations. So all this is a big challenge. And I don't know how it will turn out because Epic is very aggressively going into the Swiss market. Probably other hospitals will follow, but due to the political events which we had during the last month, probably this will not happen as we thought that Epic will cover Switzerland one day. So it's a bit open what will happen.
Okay. Yeah, well, thank you very much for that information. So it's a kind of Europe in the country, like with all the different cantons and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that is true. But we are not many people, so we do have a complexity that is comparable to Europe, but we are only a few people to solve this, and this is really a challenge.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that an invitation for all of us to come to Switzerland and help you guys sort this out, or?
It's one of the reasons why Olga and me think we should really join you and learn from you and really adapt to your standards and not develop our own, because what SPHN, the Swiss Personalized Health Network, is doing right now, and DG Santé, the following project, is doing. There's still a lot of Swissness in the models they develop, and the Swissness in the how they want to apply terminologies and how they want to make data interoperable. And I think the effort is too big for such a small country with different languages and so many different information systems. It would be much better to align to something that is working elsewhere and is working very well and aligns to our neighbors, where we can join the data space and to make also research more sensible in a way that we have more data and have an easier way to generate evidence. And this is all very difficult in Switzerland because we don't have many patients. So how can we create evidence on rare diseases? So this is
Yeah.
Well, wish you a lot of success and strength in that political diverse country.
Thank you.
Yes, and make sure you reach out whenever you feel that you need help or ideas or anything. We'd love to pitch in there. So thank you very much for that, Karen. Now, you already mentioned your neighbors, and I would like to move on to your neighbors on the east. We have Adnan Joannet joining us from the MedUni Vienna, who is the co-lead of Odyssey Austria, our newest official national node. So I will hand it over to you, Adnan, to tell us a little bit about what's going on in Austria.
Thank you, Renske. Thank you also everyone for having us here today. Really excited also to introduce ourselves as the new Odyssey node in Austria, joining the others hopefully you could also contribute to the goals of this nice community, I would say. So as you said, my name is Adnan, and I'm from the Medical University of Vienna. Today I'm here on behalf of the Austria team to give a brief overview on who we are, what we've done so far, and where we're heading. And maybe better start sharing my screen. You see my screen right now, hopefully.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, okay, so yeah, my presentation is very simple today. Just projects we delivered in Austria, the people behind these projects, and our future plans also to collaborate, train, and participate in studies across RDC Europe and hopefully RDC internationally. So projects in Austria, let's start with some projects already running in Austria. First is the Health Outcomes Observatory, as Renske also mentioned in one of these slides before. So here in this project, we are a partner and we mapped data for 3 disease areas, mainly to the OMOP common data model, mainly the breast cancer, I think about 8,100 patients, inflammatory bowel disease, also around 5,100, diabetes as well, over 1,000. And importantly, maybe to mention that with these patients, we had both clinical data and patient-reported outcomes. So we were able consistently to model these in OMOP somehow and hopefully also we are aiming to standardize the analytics, find something out of this data. We're also contributing to a multinational breast cancer benchmarking study led by the European University Hospital Alliance. Also another project, another nice project is also Optima, where we are participating also to answer specific research questions about breast cancer using OMOP as well. Another project, interesting project coming is also Quantum, where we are participating, and our team is trying to assess the quality actually and the utility of OMOP CDM into it as a I would say a platform, maybe as a solution, potential solution for the upcoming European health data space secondary use of data. So this is about building trust about OMOP. Also with this project called FEMS, also we are participating, focusing here on local ICU data for pediatric patients. Another regional nice project is D4Health in Tyrol, state in Austria, where we have actually a chronic heart failure registry in OMOP, live and running. The database currently includes roughly 6,000 telehealth patients. And I found this project also a nice example how registry data and OMOP technology could come together to support longitudinal insights at scale. StrokeNet is another nice example also for the stroke rehab programs, also with OMOP and 2,500 patients, mainly for quality assurance. Building on our Tyrol experience, we have a similar project, D4Health in Steiermark, where also we have a chronic heart failure registry in OMOP. It's just starting. Another nice example also from Austria is the SmartFox. In Austria, we have a national repository actually where the citizen data are healthcare data. Some of it are stored centrally somehow. And in this project, SmartFox, there was an initiative actually to use OMOP as a data format to store data donations. So citizens could donate and contribute their data in a way that could be standardized from the very beginning using OMOP. Pre-Nudge also is a project with ARMOB CDM in the field of prevention and population research. So it's about preventive intervention that could be studied and harmonized at scale, actually, to help answering some research questions. So these are the projects we have in Austria so far. I mean, this is some of the projects. Also, there's other colleagues who are working on other projects, and the node had just been established. So we expect also to show more maybe in coming presentations. But yeah, so far this is the ones we could show in this presentation. The people behind this effort actually is mainly from two research institutions in Austria so far, the Medical University of Vienna and the AIT, Austrian Institute of Technology. So from the Medical University of Vienna, we have Georg Dubschmidt, there's me, and there's our colleague also Florian Katsch. Also from the Austrian Institute of Technology, there's Karl, and there's Dieter, and there's Aaron. Nicely enough, the node has just started, I think, 1 week ago, officially, and we have more interested people in the node. So the ones here are the newly coming members of the node. So we have Philip also, and Roman, and Mariam from academia actually, and also from industry. This is a nice thing to see, also bringing both a blend of academic and industry partners in this node. Looking ahead, our focus is basically on collaboration, training, and study participation. So these are the main 3 points we thinking they would be really important for Austria. So we have a workshop now planned at the DHealth Conference 2026 in Vienna in May. This is also a nice opportunity for the people interested in ARMOB to come and visit Vienna and to see you in person. Another thing is the knowledge transfer, where we aim actively actually to assess future Austrian data holder in their efforts to map their data to ARMOB. There's some specific knowledge that applies to some terminologies, some, I would say, peculiarities in the Austrian healthcare system that could be that we are investigated, we or other colleagues, and it would be really nice if we could share this knowledge around, so not everyone has to start from scratch every time they are developing their ARMOB solutions. And the other thing is, absolutely, we are hoping to engage with others in studies. So we will push internally, actively, for the participation in multinational observational studies. And we hope also that we could also be partners also with other European nodes here, exchanging information, insights on the data, and ideas to answer research questions. That's it, and thank you for the opportunity to present this today.
Thanks very much, Adnan, and glad to see that you guys have joined as a node and are gaining traction already. I know there's more interested people in Austria, so if you want to join, want to be part of this exciting initiative that's going on, reach out to Adnan. Yeah, we will be focusing on the H2O work as well in our next Odyssey community call on the PROMS work. So that's very nice. Any questions for Adnan? I had one, but it slipped my mind. But I will reach out to you when it comes back to me. So thanks very much for presenting, and good luck with starting your the start of your node, pretty much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so we are going to move on to a node that has not officially been formed yet, but is working very hard to become a node, and hence we would like to highlight that as well. Yeah, I've Christian Högberg will be speaking next. I've put him on the slide as an OMOP believer because I feel if anybody in Europe lately has drank the Odyssey Kool-Aid, it's got to be Christian. He has really become an OMOP believer. So yeah, he should be on the call. Christian, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, you were so excited you were an hour early. You couldn't wait.
Well, I don't know. For some reason, I had it at 12 in my. I was not the only one. There were 4 or 5, 6 of us, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Something must have gone wrong there. Sorry about that. But I'm glad that you are here right now and willing to tell us something about your hard work that you are currently doing in Sweden.
Well, thank you. Let me then share my screen. So can you? Okay, this one is not going. Sorry, that was wrong.
All these multiple screens.
I'll try one again. Yeah, multiple screens. That's a challenge. Let me do this instead. There you go, and then I'll do this. Should be coming up now.
Yep, we see it now. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you. Well, first of all, let me say that, well, thanks a lot for all the support I've received, or we have received in the past 6 months. I think the energy that the Odyssey community has provided to us has really fueled the energy that we had, and we need energy. That's always good too when driving change. So yeah, our node is not officially formally or formalized yet, but we are a number of individuals and organizations who is seeing the opportunities and definitely doing what they can to mobilize this ecosystem that we have in Sweden. And hopefully we will be successful so that we can make a contribution to the footprint that Odyssey has provided to the world. There's a number of, I started myself taking initiative about a year ago plus, and we have now managed to form a consortium of players from the ecosystem, from different type of players, both from the academia and pharma and health tech and then the healthcare system and so on. So yeah, we're a bunch of people that believes in this, and some of them are practitioners for a long time, a few of them at least, while others have been waiting for Sweden to wake up. So now that they see someone is taking initiative, they are joining that force, and others are curious what this is about. So we have formed a pretty good, I would say, initial consortium around it. But let me take you back a little bit. Eden program has made also a contribution in the context of Swedish data owners. So we do have a few data owners in Sweden. I think there's 4 of them right now, but we also have our friend Niklas Norén and Uppsala Monitoring Center, who has been collaborating with Patrick and the guys from the early stage, I believe, and they have been using OMOP and in their study-a-thons and in their work in the area of pharmacovigilance. So it's really good for us to have Niklas and the Uppsala Monitoring Center as part of this. Another player who's been very active for a long time is the Institute of Medicine in the University of Gothenburg. Fredrik Nyberg, who previously was in Astra, who is part of also sponsoring Eden, is now at the university there, and they are the most active data partner of both Darwin EU and Eden. Then we have a few other data providers that, yes, they have harmonized their data, but they're not so active. So we will try to help them to become active. There is interest from at least one of them, or I believe even two of them, to actually start engaging in studies. And we have an emerging data owner in Karolinska as well in the area of suicide prevention, self-harm. So I'm starting to drive this together with our consortium. We really look at this from a management of change perspective, and we know that in Sweden, OMOP has not been widely adopted. So we haven't crossed the chasm yet, I would say. There's definitely an emerging interest. So, but our ambition is that we will cross this chasm of doubt and get into a rapid acceleration in the uses of OMOP and especially usage of the data to provide value for the society. So yeah, in some cases, Sweden are front runners, but in other cases, we're not. In this case, obviously, we're not. But we do have a lot of capability in this country, so we are optimistic that we'll catch up in the coming years to come. There's definitely some highlights so far. We have got a grant for this autumn to continue to mobilize the work that we're doing. And we have we have 7 or 8 ongoing studies where our University in Gothenburg is participating in Darwin studies. The Swedish Medical Product Agency is now formerly the national node of Darwin EU, so that's potential. And they have stated to me that, yeah, we would like to see all of Sweden's 140 or 50 quality registers to harmonize their data. So they definitely see the value of it, and we just need to mobilize more attention to it. The interest is increasing, not just in what is OMOP about, but we also see an increase of interest of players who would like to start to implement OMOP. And here I must say there are barriers, how to get started, funding, leadership decision-making slow, etc. So there's a number of inhibitors to adoption that we need to try to work around. The pharma industry is starting to also get engaged. So we have Pfizer and AbbVie who's formally on board on our project. And on Tuesday, we also finally got a first good meeting with the Ministry of Health and Social Affairs, raising this concern that we have that we are not investing in standardizing our health data. And we have also identified a new opportunity to get some seed funding for the work that we're doing to continue to mobilize. Our data partner in Karolinska would like to participate in project studies. They have a data set on the elderly, targeting elderly populations studies. So they asked for some help to market a little bit themselves. I'm doing interviews with not all, but with many national nodes. So I'm going to reach out to more of them so that we can learn from the experiences around Europe and the world. There's more and more collaboration also across the Nordic countries and the Baltic countries. So we have started to discuss that we would like to see a kind of a Nordic Baltic Eden project coming into place so that we can accelerate the harmonization of data in these regions. And we've also discussed potentially to arrange a Nordic Odyssey Symposium next year. We are planning a Swedish Odyssey Symposium, slightly different, I guess, from the rest of the world because we don't have so many practitioners yet, but we need to mobilize attention on this. So we have a good number of speakers, both from this community internationally as well as locally to start to continue to mobilize on this and launch OMOP in Sweden. There's a lot of dialogues going on. We are mobilizing and having meetings and discussions with a large number of players in the ecosystem trying to get attention for this and as well as engagement. Yeah, a little bit of marketing. November 1st, it is a hybrid event, so there will be a possibility to join in also from everywhere in the world. So you can sign up on this link here. And I wanted to also share with you, I know that's only a few minutes, but let me do it rather quickly here, that we see a huge opportunity because in Sweden there's a lot of a lot of investments going on. In the we have a formal research innovation bill, and where health and life science is on the priority. We have huge investments going into national infrastructure of health data, as well as EHDS. There's again huge investments going in AI and machine learning, where AI in health is part of that investment. Huge investments also in precision medicine, in disease-specific strategies, in clinical trials, trying to make Sweden more attractive for clinical trials, in different kinds of efforts to innovate and develop our healthcare, as well as in society's resilience. So in all of these, there's so much investments going on, but no one is investing hardly, in standardizing health data. And many of these investments could actually benefit from having access to standardized health data. So my elevator pitch to the government was really to, you're making all these investments, you can increase the return on those investments by standardizing health data towards OMOP, because we can really excel, also contribute to these all investments. And lastly, I just want to mention I have throughout the year I've been hooking arms with great people, and Jordan, I think he's on the call as well, and Lars might be there as well. There's a number of people here in Sweden that are very passionate about this, and many of them know OMOP much more than myself. So we're really forming a strong team here in Sweden, and hopefully we'll be successful and make a good contribution to Odyssey. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks very much, Christian. And very excited about the work that you're doing to finally get Sweden on board and no longer running behind. But you guys are hitting the ground running, so that's a very good thing. In light of time, we have to almost finish. So if you guys have any more questions for Christian, I'm sure he'll be fine if you reach out to him directly or join the next call. In the meantime, I managed to get a picture of Paulina from Craig, so that's excellent. Congrats again to Paulina, and sorry for not having you out there earlier. Let me move on very quickly to what's coming up in the next number of important dates. Like I said, Switzerland have their kickoff on October 17th. Odyssey Italy is meeting on October 22nd. And then there's a big Nordic Health Data Summit stakeholder event on October 30th in Helsinki that I know a lot of the Nordics will be joining. We have the Odyssey Sweden Symposium, which I know I'll be going to, and I know Patrick will give a nice presentation there as well. So looking forward to that. And there is also ISPOR Europe, where Odyssey will have a place in the panel on what can real-world evidence mean for patients. So also looking forward to that. Our next community call will be on November 13th at 1 o'clock, again, 1 o'clock Central European time. So don't miss that. We will be talking about patient-reported outcomes in the OMOP CDM. The national node leads will meet on October 28th. So if you have anything, drop it with your national node leads and they can pitch it in that meeting. And that leaves us for what we have to mention today. If there's anything you would like to learn and share in one of the Odyssey Europe community calls, please reach out and we will make some time for you. And then I will see you guys hopefully next month. Thanks very much for joining. For those of you in the US, enjoy the last day of the Odyssey Global Symposium and make sure you post lots of nice pictures. Katie, you have a question, or was that a wrong button? Your hand went down immediately. Thanks very much. Hope to see you guys next month.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest
Bye.
of your day. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.